Please click the thumbs up, like, and subscribe, and the bell notification. Thank you. Please click the thumbs up, like, and subscribe, and the bell notification. Thank you.
I Mixup and Blenda time.
Ragashanti live. Ragashanti live. Ragashanti live.
Check.
Ragashanti live. Ragashanti live. Ragashanti live.
Check. Okay, let's go back. All right. Well, people don't know what's going on. We in our new studio, so you don't know everything. Still a set up and a clean up and all these things and whatever. But just want to say good night, all Massive and crew. Big up on yourself, you know, big up everybody out there, you know, up so wrong, so down, so over, so under, so back, so and all these things and things, large up on yourself. Big up all who your bathroom clean and things. Big up Prezi, you are feeding face right and now eat some food and all these things and whatever. Big up all our TamFamers, them where you say Tambourine family. Big up on yourself, you know, all TamFamers large up. Big up all of the foul them were in a cub right you know, and a chill. Big up all of the foul. Big up all of the drunk them where a chill right you know, cause drunk on a really tough fly at night, you know, drunk them a chill right you know, in some tree and all them something yeah. And sitting and whatever. I don't know. Drunk on a two go dance at night and all them something there, you know, and all them things there. Hold on there. No, I need. President, you couldn't tell me, said. You couldn't tell me if I turn on this something, man. Let me see over here, so. All right, there. Check. All right, but turn it on now, so. Let me see what I go on over there. So, large up, you know, big up on yourself. I was saying in Jamaica, Janko say him no work on Sunday. Janko say him no work on a Sunday. Now work him, now work on a Sunday. I was saying, I think they get big. People, a little thing happened to me yesterday. I don't know what I go on. It's like the left side of my face, right? So, you know, like, go right back to back of my jaw corner. Is that some little swelling thing I go on, and it feel like, you know, when you get that, what them call something where the dentist give a present when them go, a Novocaine in name, that's what it name. All right, you know, when time you get that something there and the result is you have no control over your locomotions, your facial movement and all these things and whatever. Well, that is what is happening right now, and it's been happening since yesterday. And I have some swelling of my, you know, like gum, but it's glands, you know, so I'm wondering if it's because over the weekend I had to drive up to Canada and back, you know, and that's quite a drive. It was like, you know, it was quite a drive, you know? Like, in total. Well, if you go straight, you know, it's about, well, President, may I hear you? If you go straight, it's about, well, from New York City, you know, to right at the Canadian border. It's, you know, like over 6 hours and thing. But if you go further in, you end up I do like a next 2-3 hours and thing. Plus, you have to stop. So, you know, the drive each way was, you have to can gangster up a thing, but you don't know someone a bad driver up on road and all these things and whatever. But so, you know, I do that drive, they go up Friday and do the drive, come back Sunday. And I never get enough sleep before. So I wonder if that like took some toll on my body and things like that. But I have never had this thing where like, you know, a localized area of my face is it's like I don't have enough control over it, and it's like there's a numbness there and there's a swelling. Me, I wonder if me get one mild stroke, I don't know. which would be serious, right? I guess it would be serious. You know. Robert Blackwood, I wonder if I get one little stroke. Because you know you can't have them little hey, you have some stroke, you know, mild. Hey, you know, say people who get stroke and I know say them not get stroke. I never know say them they get the stroke. Yeah, people who get stroke and I know say them not get stroke. I have some mild stroke, man, yeah. So I open and nothing like that, you know. I don't like medicine and doctor and them something there, but I don't play era either. When I go and deal with whatever, you understand? But even now, like, right, you know, my face right here or so, go at the back. Like before, I come from, I brush my teeth and use my little mouthwash. And you know, when you get that Novocaine something that you're not in a control, you can't even close your mouth good. You know, you try to close your mouth and it not close good. I don't know. You know, probably I watch it and then, if anything, I go. People you have to be careful up here, and people that love take your money up here. The health industry up here, I see, man, and love take your money for your kind. Anyway, people, the elephant in the room, oh God, this is so weird. The elephant in the room, Usain Bolt. Oh my God. Who were, you know, affiliated with SSL, Stocks and Securities Limited. For them name a ring up and people and make all kind of assumption about them and thing. And we see some executives, some former executives, them come out and them say, them no know nothing about anything. A couple of things here, people. I urge you to read their press releases carefully. Because there's some people who say, I was not aware of anything happening to you, of any thieving in a Usain account. Basically, them say that. While you have people who say, I wasn't aware that Usain, there's people who work at SSL, you know, who say, I wasn't aware that Usain had an account in SSL. It's two different something that, you know. So if somebody I say, I wasn't aware of any thieving going on a Usain account, that person may know say Usain account, but they're not putting language out there to say them know that, but them just you know, a position themselves to say, leave me out here. People could just look at timeline thing real quick. When this thing happened, a great many people were quiet and silent. And then many of us out here, you know, we were wondering why the silence. Usain himself came out and said the silence is deafening. Right? People let me tell you what was going on then in that period of silence. Right? You have some people that work differently from others, right? And in terms of how the game is played, you have a set of people who understand how the law work, who have some understanding how the law work. And, you know, the first thing, when things like this happen, this is what I want to know for understand people. The way, all right, whoever, on whatever level, if somebody move Usain money, that person or persons would have done so in a manner to not get caught. That is a given. If they don't want to get catch, it also follows that they would have employed some sort of convention, some strategy and whatever to put something in place to mask their involvement in such a conspiracy, if it's more than one or if it's one person, for cover them tracks, right? That is a given. If somebody really thieved the money, people, it is understandable if some people really don't know anything about it, but because they're affiliated with SSL in some way, that they would, temper their speech and their, whatever before them say anything or do anything, because them don't know if something did cross them desk and them go say, me don't know nothing about it, and then something did cross them desk and them say, but this did cross. And then later on somebody say, but then you did sign this or you this and whatever this. So you can't have people who really don't know nothing about it. But did I wait, for, and I ask a couple of questions and I say, what really are going on here, and this and that and whatever, to make sure that they don't have any legal exposure. Also, with regards to the former CEO, there's two sides to that in terms of speculation, right? So in terms of former executives, on one side, people, it is actually possible for a CEO or somebody, a senior executive, to not know of all the minutiae in the operations of the company. Usually this is more so with big companies. Them don't really know everything or go on. If you have layers and layers and layers going right down to the entry-level personnel and so forth and things. So it is possible for, an executive or executives to be in SSL and never know, say, Usain did have an account in there. And one of the reasons why it is possible, it has been revealed, allegedly, that Usain's involvement with SSL, well, I don't know if this is a distraction, I tell you, say them put this out there, so I don't know if this is part of some shenanigans to like distract and whatever. I'm just telling you what is out there, that Usain involvement with SSL was done under one company. What the company name? Well, Jen, something like so, right? Right? So, supposedly, allegedly, Usain's investment were missing was placed under company name. And it is under the company name that the investment was made with SSL. Now, there is some alarming things there which even me can't understand, because apparently this company, Usain, was it a signatory? Like him, was it one of the person who named the one document for the company? Was it supposedly have him $10 million for investing in SSL? Which is absurd. Which is absurd. Some don't know that part they go. But if you see it, if $10 million did a really investment, I like to know who set up that say theme name that have nothing to do with the money. But I want to follow that little narrative, you know. All right. But what I'm saying though is, if it is the case that the money did really invest under one company and the company was supposedly registered in St. Lucia, so technically then, Usain, if I saw it going on, I sure know how this thing are going on, because I lead up to something telling me, say, Usain now get back that the money then. You now get back that the money then. Not only that, this thing may lead to the usual obfuscation. So something really are going to prison me. I wonder if I get one stroke or something. I don't know, like my motor, I slur a little bit or something. I don't know. No, man, obviously no man thing. So I probably really need to go check it out. But anyway, because what I'm saying, this is usually, people, I want to see how the game are playing. This is leading down to the usual confusion and obfuscation and thing where essentially nothing can be proven. People, you have to understand, the way white collar people, white collar criminal work, I'm going to say something to you where probably not make sense to someone, but just listen to me. The way of them things set up, it's irrelevant who do it or who not do it, That is not the point here. Let me say that again. The way of them usually do these things. It's irrelevant. If somebody thief the money, it's irrelevant who thief the money or who don't thief them. You know what is important? What can you prove? So understand this. These people, them get them lawyer, whoever in them get them lawyer, and lawyers do what lawyers are supposed to do. You can't knock them for that. The lawyer, first like I said, tell me the facts. And then the lawyer may, whatever resources they have to ask further questions or do some look at investigation. At some point, the lawyer or lawyers is going to say, okay, what have we here relative to our client? Is there any evidence that can come back to our client saying our client is complicit in this thing in any way? That is how them work. It's irrelevant whether the client do it or not. And so it is that sometimes somebody really not do something and them not have nothing for fear because the lawyer say, well, you don't have nothing for fear, whatever. Or you have time when people really do something and the lawyer will say, there is no evidence connecting you with this, you know. Right? So now, I suggest that give it that your name a call up out there, you need to go out there and this is what you're going to say. And then the lawyer, them usually vet the language. And because, you know, people still, you can't have people that call up your name, say you're in a this and that, and then if you're not saying nothing to people, press where people are going to say, then oh, them a call up him name and him do ever come out, come say, him not have nothing to do with it. So at some point, the lawyer, there's a game. They might think about the court, but they might think about public perception and thing and whatever. So the lawyer going to say, all right, you have to go out there now, and this is what you're going to say, and stick to message. You don't know about this, or blah, 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 blah. And you have to also put something in there like, say, you know, like you're upset, you know. So you say, yo, one of the people them who out there call up my name and thing like that, I want you to know I'm presently exploring, you know, the possibilities for, you know, some legal consequences and things like that. So, you know, I shot across the bow, you're telegraphing to them that I am not guilty. And for those of you who are, you know, spouting things out there, you know, either directly or indirectly, assuming my guilt, I am considering legal action against you. You know? These are the games they play. But the important thing is, understand this. Right now, with a lot of these people, the phone lines are being, you know, furiously active right now, and people are meet all about and this and that and what you know about this and that and whatever. I'm just saying this for you to keep in mind that yes, you're gonna have people who are not involved in this and are blamed wrongfully. These things usually happen when something like this come up. And you're going to have people who are involved in some way, but, you know, they might go engage in another game of distraction. For send you wide and all, them look at something there and whatever. So, the pantomime is unfolding, right? The games are being played. And again, the way how this going to play out is what can you prove? If you can't prove something, then technically, even if the person do it, them not do it. So that are going fully. All right. So, people, yeah, me I come up pretty. So people me here say, what cause it for bust out as somebody who, well, and more than one people who whatever. All right. Somebody who was a business manager for a long time, apparently that person got fired. Now, there are all kinds of things about why that person got fired. Me not get in that part, but apparently that person got fired. When that person got fired, supposedly that led to a cascading of dominoes, you know, and it saw certain things come out. And it saw some people start to take with themselves. as the things ever come out, as I mentioned earlier, supposedly, whoever was advising Mr. Bolt or a deal with the money, for some reason, the money supposedly, allegedly, was placed under the auspices of the management, investment portfolio, and so forth, for SSL and whatever, in the name of a company of which Usain Bolt was not a signatory, like him not have no saying at the company, but the sole purpose of the company was to represent the money where him invest for putting over in a SSL, which, by the way, is just nonsensical to me. And that right there, so smacks of something going. Now, some of the things that we can't say is that there are all these speculation and allegations out there that from right there, so was the setup. Right there, so was the setup. Me I said the target time money right there, so right? I know see things out there that supposedly with this company, honestly say them I say over years, you know, several withdrawal over years, and what we see in court out there is $6 million, which means we don't know about the other 4 people. There's this and that I say out there, say the money I take over years, and that hear that one here. Hear that one here now. It's like one set of thief, see one thief, a thief for money, and like that set of thief say, well on, that thief for money. So if me thief for money to them, not go catch me, them go catch a thief there. So make me go thief for money. Well, let me take a break because we are getting that break. You know me, I give the way me here. We are getting that break, we take a break, we soon forward.
Decades of hits from the classics to current tracks. You'll find it all on the Bridge 99 FM, the station for everyone.
Now laugh, the money last, the bank thief, the athlete breakfast. Oh no, say God no, this not real. Oh no, say God no, this not real. Look how my things, Mr. Bolt him them. Man put Jamaica on the real map. Never born rich, him a come from nothing. Him run round the world and him achieve something. Me can't believe that the bank them do. I treat the athlete like him a buto. Them a murderer, you never hear bujo. Them man picnic, them soon can buy a jojo. God know, them a thief. What year them rap me so I know. Fly high or fly low. Give back the athlete in damn door.
Lego.
Ragashanti live. Ragashanti live. Ragashanti live.
Yeah, man, back in our juggling. So as me I said to check, Fraser, we good? So as me I said to one of the people, yeah, me have to balance up my thing. But so apparently, well, allegedly, when the money did start Teef, other people see the money at Teef and decide say them are got Teef too. People may not tell us anything goes for sure. I just tell them where somebody tell me and then call name. I not call the people them name because I don't know if it's true. Because when them things that happen, everybody just have a story. But I just go on to the mate. So when me hear the thing come out now with the company and where you see a name, where you see money going and you see was it a signatory, people that has to be deliberate. I am not aware of whatever statute or common law or administrative regulations govern the way these things are supposed to do, but I am willing to bet that that on some level there's some rule that say if you invest a client money, the client name for them on the money. Now so you can press it, that makes sense. Something like that. No. I understand the whole game behind shell companies and shadow investors and people are investing and want nobody know them. People like seriously. I have these people who they're valued at hundreds of millions and billions. And to them, if them, you know, them can't throw $100 million over your son and it, you see another dead, so. You know, you see another dead, so. People just use some common sense here. Why would you see and be comfortable with, you know, investing $10 million US and not have him name on the $10 million US dollar? You see, my bet is you see never know about this. So I am inclined to believe that there is some credibility to some of the things that when we hear say from the get-go that you have certain parties, no one person, you know, did I set up the thing that way there. Then supposedly, you know, it did set up a way where you see and can look for something or hear something from somebody if you say the money they did it all this time and whatever. When what them I tell him I never saw or what him I say wasn't so. So you have the part there too. Now, when you hear the reports now say somebody from Usain team did I make the withdrawals and things, so you have the angle too and things like that. But again, the part that I find interesting is that nobody know really them know what the total is. Them have a sense $12.7 million. But right now the different thing is that the thing chop up. The thing chop up over the years. So. People sometimes, some of them think they're deliberate, you know, because them people, when them are going with them thing, them know for mass up with thing, you know, because when you go in a court, you know, remember, you know, in general, you have to, you know, you have some standard of conviction have to be, you know, when them talk about circumstantial evidence, that it's more likely than not that you committed the crime and things like that. So you have some people who, you know, them cloud up a thing and confuse up a thing and whatever. So by the time you drop a court and thing, all them have to do a poor call in whatever the prosecution are forward with, and I saw them get to when them done guilty about the thing. Because so to me it look like some sort of strategy unfold on a level. Because the money can't walk away. The money can't run away by itself and things like that. Now people on the ear say they calling the FBI. Now someone asked me and I said, we got the thing serious, man. It look like all right. Here is my speculation on the FBI thing. Is either one out of two broad reasons why the FBI was called in, or a combination of both, right? The FBI could have been called in for some sort of forensic expertise, right? The Federal Bureau of Investigation, they're quite accomplished in these type of things and whatever, and they have all sorts of you know, equipment and things like that for do certain things. And I'm not making any assumptions about you know, the forensic you know, capabilities of you know, the Jamaica constabulary force, who have improved considerably over the years and are to be commended for, you know, some of the remarkable work that they have been doing in this regard in terms of crime solving and, you know, improving, you know, their forensic analysis and their forensic investigations and so forth. But I'm willing to bet that the FBI have some, you know, some better capabilities in that regard. And it's a possibility that, you know, the parties who are investigating right now, you know, would have, you know, could have reach out to the FBI and say, we need help with some of your expertise in such and such area and whatever. And just want to remind people that the Jamaican government and the United States government, they're friendly. And they have, you know, on many occasions, they have found it necessary to collaborate, you know, when they deal with certain things. So you have cooperation and collaboration there. However, it could also be that the FBI, you know, was called in because there could have been an element in the investigation that involved the movement of Usain money in the United States. Remember, you know, people, we live in a time now in a press where, boom, you can't transfer money from Jamaica, quick o'clock, Ghana one account in America. You follow what I say? So you find, say, if somebody all a thief money and people me don't know what go on, you know, me, honestly, you know, me feel like say something wrong with my face, yeah, so, you know. Me not have no control on the left side, and that's like my mouth twist. Like, President serious? You think, I forgot to check out that something, yeah? Me wonder what. But anyway, so people, it could have been that in this highly interconnected world that we're living in right now, where the transfer of money is like zoom, 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 zoom. And remember the type of people who we are dealing with now, you know. They know the value of, if you have thief money, don't leave any breadcrumbs. That's, you know, an analogy. So don't leave anything where anybody can follow you. And one of the way them do them something, you fling it over this, so fling it over this, so fling it over, so fling it over, so. And when it done, go in that account, and pay for this and whatever this and that. It's a form of, to use street talk, yeah, clean the money. And you bring it right round and come round and things. So who will tell if some of the cleaning and the so-called sanitizing of the money with them thief, if it did go through the United States in some way, hence, you know, the announcement that the FBI has been called in, because then now the Jamaican investigators would need the cooperation of the Federal Bureau of Investigation in the United States to facilitate certain movements necessary in the jurisdiction of the U.S. Because Jamaica can't go do certain things. They have to get permission from the FBI. And then FBI, you know, certain little, you know, say you need a search warrant for going at this and that computer and whatever and thing, you know. It would have to come from the FBI, right? So the FBI can't come Jamaica and just do as them like. They have to get permission from the Jamaican authorities. And Jamaica can't go to the U.S., go do as them like for investigation. They have to get permission from the FBI. So it's a possibility that is something like that. Because assume that whoever was, you know, if money did thief and it take and whatever, assume that you know, it's not a far stretch to say that some measures were enacted, you know, to prevent, you know, in an attempt to prevent them being caught and to mask their activities, etc. Right? And therein, the resulting cat and mouse, the usual cat and mouse thing that is that is presently afoot with the investigators tracking this and whatever, and you know, and presumably, ostensibly, the, you know, those who engaged in this fiscal chicanery, they too will be taking what we can assume would be evasive actions and so forth. So, you know, there has to be much going on in the back end right there. And for those of you who asked about the FBI's involvement, you know, some of you believe that it was conclusory, like some conclusion was reached. No, it's investigation going on, I think. But people, and again, people remember now the Minister of Finance, Mr. Clark, some people have said, he said, he came out and said, you know, it has been confirmed that Usain had an account at SSL. Because some people that come out and say, Usain never have an account. Of course, semantics again, right? Again, if his money was placed under the auspices of a company, and then it was that company that did the investment through SSL without Usain being a signatory to the company, then technically, Usain have no investment in the company, even though I feel money in there. So if somebody say, Usain never did invest in the company, they're right and them wrong, you know? But these are the type of games that the investigators would have to like parse out and figure out wagwan and who are the general and this. And these is what they do, and then these are what the white collar general these are the things that they assume they are good at, right? My argument always is that if them catch some white collar criminal, it means a some getaway. Right? That's my reasoning. So we only know about who get catch, but it would be stupid to think that every criminal get catch, right? You know, the world, common sense tells us that some people are get away with it. So without crime, you know, some people get away, some get catch, some get away. So there's much going on there. And what has been revealed so far that is significant, I tell you about the company, I think that is significant. I will pass something out there, you know, but I just tell you now what me think is significant, right? Again, if it is true, again, a company was formed in St. Lucia. The money was placed under that company. And it was then that company where the money was invested in and whatever. Now, people, there's much being said there about who, because right there, so, you know, the question is, Prezi, oh, so who go farm the company? Who put the money there? So who go talk to who? You know? So obviously it's not Gene alone. It can't be Gene alone, people. It cannot be Gene alone. Why? The only way it can be Gene alone is if you see and they go directly to Gene. And from where we are here, and so it go. And Gene is a little Gene too, you know. People when they see Gene come out in a wheelchair, it look like, it look like a that the Gene ship. You remember when Mr. Mande with Cash Plus and whatever, and think, him they come out in a wheelchair too. Miss Lady, that was in a Messada or whatever, this and that. You remember she roll out in a wheelchair to me and say, she did allegations and she did do up for herself and I go on like she mad and all them. So I'll know my father to get back for him tens and millions of dollars. So it look like when time people, whatever this and that, you know, fling yourself in a wheelchair and poop up yourself and do it up yourself. And then say, you did a do this and that, you did a borrow the money because your poop did a cancer and this and that and railway. And then people take people for puppy show. Right? So you have that to play out. But people, my guess, and for the record, make sure you have this in the card, then you don't like me either, and then will come for me. I am saying guess. So I am speculating. And I want to state categorically, I have no definitive answer about who do what or this, anything to do with this. So I am a armchair analyst just like anybody else. For the record, despite what people tell me, and which a name called to me, and all these things and whatever. So, people, a couple more things before we take a couple of calls. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot more I could share with you in terms of what I just want to appreciate them important points around me. Because there's, you know, people, you know, when them something are going, people have nothing to say and chat and call up people's name or whatever. But nothing is proven yet. Oh, with regards to the Prime Minister and thing or whatever, I know the Prime Minister say, him did have to wait to and whatever, this and that and re. That is true. My Prime Minister, I'm have to wait. Many of you are saying, but so long. Right? And then, no found no engage in the partisan thing, the PNP, JLP thing. I don't know me. I not get involved in that something. Right? But it's understandable that the Prime Minister would have to wait and get him facts straight and whatever. Yeah, but there's an argument say, yeah, but you did wait a while. You did wait a while. And then the Prime Minister made it known that, yeah, him did have a little investment in it, but him did take it out from so and whatever. Many of you have a lot to say about that. I am not going there. I don't want anyone to call me about that. Right? Again, many have a lot to say about that part there. I'm not going there because that is another instance where most of what is said is, despite someone want to frame it as if you know definitively, if people listen to it carefully, you don't know anything definitively. So that part over there, so that a part I'm not going on. I have to say, though, you know, the minister here, Mr. Clark, you know, I've been keeping my eye on that gentleman and whatever. And people, politics is politics. You know, politics is an adversarial process by nature and things like that. And many of us were old enough to know of people who come in and, you know, and enter politics with the best intentions and they want to make a difference and whatever. And then once you get embroiled in the game and after a while, you become a product of, you become an agent of, the same thing that you were fighting against when you just come in. So I don't know how Mr. Clark going to turn out, but thus far, my impression of him, and I'm keeping my eye on him, my impression of him is that him take charge when him supposed to, and that he understands, as Lisa Anna would have said, that politics is a blood sport, he understands it. And he seems capable of handling stress. He has this capacity to remain composed when he's dealing with explosive matters, and that is always good in a leader. And he has a gift of clarity in communication. He tends to speak in a manner where you understand what he must say. And people, let me tell you this. Politicians speaking in a way where people think they might understand, but them don't understand, or just have a practice of just reeling out cliche after cliche after cliche. That is just so commonplace out there that, when you listen to some of them, it's just the usual monotony. And you're like, oh, whatever. Just another one doing the same thing. He has managed to differentiate himself somewhat in that regard, And that differentiation he has been consistent with it. And he has, again, him in politics, him there on one side. So, of course, him have a protect over protect. And that is just part of the game, people. And he knows who his teammates are, just as how people on the other side of the aisle, they know who their teammates are, and they look out for the team. So him look out for him team too. But his speeches thus far on this thing here, and it's like he's doing his job. And he has stepped up, and for those of you who say, oh, him a lead, I know the Prime Minister now lead, and people, it's his portfolio. He's the Minister of Finance. So these things, these entities, and whatever happens with these entities, they fall under his portfolio. Is it the case that the Prime Minister is kind of letting him lead? That is obvious, yeah, but the Prime Minister has been speaking on this, and he has been consistent about the necessity to protect people, as I explained to you a couple of weeks ago. Banking, people think a big part of banking, the biggest part of banking is about wealth and money. No. The most important element in banking and investment, these investment houses and things, is confidence. It's confidence. People need to have confidence in these institutions that when they put their hard-earned money in there, they want to know that the money is secure, and they want to know that people know what they're doing and things like that. That is confidence, right? These financial institutions, they understand that. So they go out of their way not to compromise the integrity of their operations and things like that. So they go out of their way not to have the public, believe that they should not have any confidence in putting, their money in their machinery. And in any country, particularly a capitalist society, which Jamaica is one of them, that confidence is critical. It can cripple an economy. It can crush a country. So the stakes are high. The stakes are indeed high because if this thing, get legs and take off too much and something else go bust out, and then people think, say, yo, me not trust this, and people start drawing the money. We've seen this thing unfold before. Argentina, who remember back in the day when, when everybody had drawn them money and thing, and the economy collapsed. Right? So, once the economy collapsed, you think we have crime problem now? Once the economy collapsed, you think people are hungry now? Right? So, the Prime Minister, the PM, along with Mr. Clark, seem very much aware of it. Not only that, Jamaica is not one of those countries with a robust economy that can withstand some of these, onslaught against confidence and whatever. Our thing kind of fragile, somewhat, whap, 2 lick reach you and thing, and before you know it, a pain reach you and all them something. So, they are indeed doing what they say. Because somehow I say, oh, they chat about this and that and not talk about the youth money. I know this going to sound cool, but me feel it for Usain, but I understand what the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance is doing with respect to the big picture, the security of the country. And when I say security, I mean that is a deliberately chosen word. The security of the country is at stake, right? If this thing get up, because Usain is not, the, all right, people, no, we're going to go to something else. You remember when the people said them never know this and them never know that, say Usain this and never know that. You remember I was making the argument, say it is possible that, them cannot know. There's an argument, a credible argument to be made on the other side. People, there is only one Jamaican more popular than Usain Bolt. And him dead. One Robert Nesta Marley. Bob Marley is the only Jamaican more popular than Usain Bolt. No, I dare any, President, you know anybody more popular than Usain except Bob Marley? Who? President, we're not going, but President Ragashanti, whatever, in my dreams, No, seriously, you know anybody more popular? Yo, you see how much news outlet pick up the story and I run with it? No, if this thing I don't, people, you know how them people that get to with them teeth in you all the while, don't? You know how them people that get to with them teeth in you all the while. People, I am one of those who's a little bit jaded with this and thing and whatever, and I was like, here we go again, this and that, but when we want to pay attention to? Somebody got to pay for this, because them can't make the slide, so somebody got to pay, but what we want to pay attention to? Who get blame for it? How many people get blame for it? Who get blame for it? If it's a small fry or a big fish. Well, when you're talking about the Jamaicans, you should avoid the word fish, My apologies there. I don't want anybody come. I don't want, because, big fish I use long time, but Jamaican just gonna make all kind of trouble. Next thing you know, I'm going to say, yo, if it's a small fry or a big fish, and before you know it, I'll get a call. Raga, watch your language, where you say about it. I'm like, no, I don't know, you will talk about whatever. That is a derogatory term. All right, we want to say if it's somebody from the lower end of the totem pole or somebody on the eye. But people, I am putting my head out there and saying, even though the company supposedly, allegedly, Usain money did invest under this company, which means that, some people may not know about it. People, I am one of those, a little company like SSL, I'm not a big company, whatever. If Usain money did in there, and you in the executive where you know who the major players are, right? In terms of who People, you see when you go like some big gambling house, as soon as I roll of them come in, everybody know how we want to treat them good and all them something, right? So, it would be almost irresponsible for the leadership of SSL to say, Usain had an account there for more than 10 years and them never know. Or the money did a Teef out him out-time account for 10 years and them never know. Mark it, you know, that is what a lawyer would tell them to say. And, you know, we understand. But me just I say, we as lay people out here, I think it is somewhat insulting for us to think that people, you see another regular somebody, $10 million, no, you know. So, you know, my kids, you know, them have this thing I know about, this is sauce. You ever hear the people when they preach it? I feel them talk that, you know. So my kids are not like, Dad, that is sauce, you know, that is sauce. You know, an abbreviation for suspicious or, you know, your suspect and thing. So, if I was a lawyer and I was advising these people, I would say, yes, say what you say, but don't overdo it, you know, because you're going to invite people to say, you know, I'm not trusting. What you mean you never know to use your money? So we have a see other part to play out. But what I'm saying, people, unfortunately, if we pay attention to what obtained before, and if we see how the thing unfold right now, that is the same games that are being played, the distractions, the utterances of ignorance, that I don't know anything about this, I don't know anything about this, we have seen this played out before on many occasions, right there in Jamaica, all over the world, but right there in Jamaica, I don't need to tell you, no. Right? We have had many money scandals. And again, I will say this, Jamaica is a country where you jump King's House fence and you pick two aki, you end up in a jail and in a court in front of Judge Ph.D. But the people them who go on with the big robbery, them not get way. Them always a get way. Jamaica is a country, a young man a graduate, and him go say, big up on the B-class self. And the so-called learned people and the people who mean well for the country almost lost their damn minds. This is what the country is coming on. And it's all about this thing, country first, country first. But when big shot and people of influence and affluence commit some serious, egregious offenses, you don't hear these so-called patriots come out and beat them. When Vibes Cartel and Spice didn't make the song Ramping Shop, a certain media house with certain actors in the media house, they came out with guns blazing. And again, the argument is, what does this mean for society? And it was country first. And the people, and we have to save the children. Me not hear them run up for them mouth and come. People, where is the outrage from the people them who always outrage about certain things we get to people do? Where the outrage are there? What here? When the taxi man go in at the taxi and tell the woman and come out with the board, and the girlfriend zip. Go about she a get it with she a damn foolishness she did do, but she a get the man gift with the board and whatever and kind of celebrate what him do. People and the Ragashanti make it up, uno heard the outrage. Uno see how much company come out and them beat the girl and them take it to zip and all these things and whatever. When you see how certain people in the media, them talk up something against the girl and whatever. And like clockwork, you see them people that outrage, you see them out there leading the demonstration and thing. You tell me, you know, this thing that we are going now with Usain and all them something, you know. You compare it to a young man a graduate and say, big up on a B-class self or the taxi man, whatever, and which one, whatever, right? What was the argument made when the taxi man a do him thing? He was looking out for his own interest. And their argument was that was not in the best interest of the country. So he was attacked for pursuing his self-interest, which to him was, at the time, was the taxi man, them go through this and that and whatever we need on the support and whatever. And the argument was, we have to denounce him. We have to condemn him. We have to condemn the zip lady and thing and whatever in the interest of country. So put your singular interest aside and we're looking out for country. Now we have this thing with the Usain thing and what we say happening now. Some of these people from the same background, what are they doing? They are doing the same thing what the taxi man do. Them I look out for them interest now. You see them I put country first now? No. Where the outrage there? Where the loudmouth there? Where the hero them there? Where the hero them? The superhero them? Well, love, defend Jamaica when poor people do something and thing. Where them there? I wanna there. I wanna hear nothing out town no. People in the media house and know on themselves as I look at thing happening in a dancer. Wanna there. That's you seeing ever come out and say the silence is deafening. And no for who are listening right here now, only guilty of the same thing to come in like Papi show. Only the back of them people clock and make them turn on idiot and distract on all the time too. Only make them make cliche. A mountain out of a mole out of something small. And when the big thing them happen and whatever, this and that, you go like on afraid to see the hypocrisy in them behavior and them conduct. Anyway, so that is that. So, sadly, I wish bad for the general. But when, let me tell you people, Usain could have got investing money somewhere else, you know. Usain could have gone and live a foreign, you know. There's many countries where Usain could have lived right now, where him could have make more money than where him there right now. And the man, a Jamaica himself. When them do the documentary and all them something and whatever, Usain say, have to come to Jamaica, we are talking about. And the man say, oh, Jamaican people need work. Them need them opportunity and whatever. So if me can do this to them, I do this to them. I don't look at thing the man do and put country out there. I'm going to say a thing right now, I know for I'm going to probably vex. I don't care. Here we are going. You have some people out there, them love hold certain people accountable. Well, if everybody give up, who going to build the country? Right? When the truth is, most wealthy people, rich people and whatever, they make money at Jamaica, but them not invest it at Jamaica. Them invest it outside. So, right now, if you see and vex, and say my breeze the country, me not wrong him. And make ever years anyhow out about when him can't do that, we know where him got through, but if you need really committed to country and thing, him would have jettison and let we go and whatever and this. We don't go from here, sir, man. Because the man do for the country and all them something and them thing and reach him. And the mechanism them was supposed to be in place to protect him. You know, them never protect him. And people, one last thing before we go to the phone line. You know what is sad? At some point, however this thing unfolded, with whoever decide for go in there, go walla walla in a man money or whatever. At some point, some sort of calculus must have been, determined that they can do it because potential costs are minimal. Because you see on some level a weak fence. Right? Me know certain people right now in Jamaica do so. If people know say them man they all have them money, nobody ain't touch it. And people don't know say it's true. You don't even have to be gangster. You have to be all certain people who big in a society too, and people know so I want some money that you know. And them now touch it. So at some level, whoever do them something, and them know so them could have go walla walla up in a Usain money. And here we go again. Where the nice people, them get shafted. Because when the predators them engage in their cost-benefit analysis, the calculations must have resulted in some sort of conclusion like, we can't do this, man. Worst case scenario, what you see I go do? Boom, bang, badam, bing. In a Dodders heyday, you think if Dodders put all the money in a SSL when them out here and people say Dodders money, you think they would have touched Dodders? They would have never touched Dodders money. You understand? Janu, me vex about that. Other part them me vex about too, you know? It's like them look on the youth as true patriot. True patriot. They look on the youth as weak fence and go so zoom and step up in the youth food and thing and whatever. At the same time, be reminded, we're talking about Usain, but and a Usain alone lose money. Right? So we have at least 39 other people, according to Miss Pantande, who lose for them money too. So them are human being too and whatever. And we understand the significance of Usain and things like that. All right, the Prime Minister again and Mr. Clark, them are come out and them are reinforce and build back with the confidence in Jamaica's financial sector. I just want to remind people that Jamaica has long been positioning in itself as supposed to be like a viable alternative in terms of offshore investment, you know, that has made Cayman wealthy, that has put the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos, in a highly favorable position with respect to their economies and the trafficking of wealth. And Jamaica has long been, well, for a while now, has been positioning itself in that cadre, and things like that. So we see why the Prime Minister, Mr. Clark, want to protect that. But people, want to see what go on over Sajik or want to see what go on at NCB and whatever. And people, be reminded, these are just the people them who get catch. People, it is routine. It is common for these institutions to find people who are engaging in these activities and them don't put it out there. If them can't deal with it internally, them deal with it internally because I'm looking on the big picture. Them don't want them. A lot of these companies, them don't even arrest certain people who them catch because them understand the importance of that confidence. But with all due, I understand where Mr. Clark do, I understand where Andrew do, but why you can't blame people though? If people drop back now and I look on this thing and I say, what you Sajik what you look at going over Citibank, over NCB, look what going with UC and whatever. You can't blame people who are saying, you know what? I really are going to Jamaica. Well, until you clean up on the act and whatever, me I take out my money. I know some people are going to beat me and I say, Raga, don't say them thing them and we are trying. So, but that's just reality. Right now, the people them confident shaking. Enough people are saying, yo, if them can do this to you, seeing, what are we going to do to my little much? And that enough people are saying, and if it's really last thing before we go to the phone line. If I really somebody in a camp set him up and all them something that people listen when me I tell you now. For years you always have some people who are tell me say you need to be careful, because the way you move, you feel like you have some obligation to always remain intimately connected to the people from the communities where you're from. And over the years, I've gotten different warnings about this. And for years, I concluded that those warnings, some of them were very careful because them know mistakes, so them no want piss me off or so. But over the years, I initially just wasn't. I was like, I for the most part, I dismissed those warnings. And I was even offended by some of them. People, I am telling you right now, based on some experiences that I've had and based on some things that I've observed over, recent years, and including this one, one thing with Usain, and I think differently about that something, I understand it differently. I see what the people say. And I know it's controversial. Right? I know it's controversial. But people, if you become uniquely successful and the people who have been around you, they are nowhere near the success where you have. But, through your work and your endeavors and the application of yourself in whatever it is you were pursuing, you became uniquely successful. As controversial as it sounds, I am saying be careful about feeling that you have to stay intimately, closely connected in terms of your operation and your flow with the people who were always around you, but now they are not as successful as you. It's almost inevitable that some of them people are going to feel like if they give one cup of water, it's like them feel like, say, at the cup of water where they give that time, they make you successful, so you owe them. And they're entitled to this and that. You have a next set. We call it bad mind, covetousness and whatever. You have a next set. You don't even have to do them nothing. Them just like have a problem with your success. You have a next set. You buy a car, you buy a house, you wear clothes. I show off on them. You're not show off, you're just being yourself. Sometimes you're doing the same thing, you wear the same clothes, but just because you rise certain way, the same thing and the same, them become a problem when they weren't a problem before. Yeah, all family too. So them have a saying, if when you grow, you realize that you are the smartest person in the room, or the person with the most in the room, them said that it's time to leave that room. Means say you go cut them off, But don't stay in the room. I tell you the brother here, this rapper up here. When name Boosie, I Boosie him name. He might do an interview and him say a simple thing that I was struck by it. Him say, look, over the years with all of the successful rapper them were dead and whatever. Him say all of them dead in them community at the background of them at them same people that kill them. Even the brother were dead at the wait near Waffle House, the rapper, him, Biggie, Tupac, the whole of them, Nipsey, the whole of them. And it's true. It's like you have some people, once you make it, you become a target. And it's like, and you know what to? You will help some, Make you not able to help them anymore. Or make you say, no, Sam, the person that, them will make it a permanent thing. And as soon as you back up, you become persona non grata. You become wicked, you're evil, you're wicked and this and that. And you owe them. But now I say everybody stay so, but I say some people stay so. So all I'm saying is, if you become successful, really, really be careful about some sort of romantic ideal or some sort of, noble, inclination, noble policy where you have that you're supposed to stay around them and whatever, this and that. Knowing that these people are looking on you differently and think, say, you know, owe them this and that. Not only you owe them, but you must dispense these things continuously for the rest of your life. And try, if you do that, and you're going to get broke, and them same man are going to turn around and say, but you look how much you get to a day and you're broke, your workless like, and whatever. And say, you shouldn't have to lose all that money and whatever. And at them, you did that help and again, You have people who are going to want what you have. And them are going to want to destroy you, forget what you have. You have some people happy for you, celebrate you and big you up and thing. But you're going to find, say, the ones them who you never used to give, the ones them who never used to ask you for nothing, the ones them who you know but you never had around them like that, you and them good same way. And the ones them who close to you, and some of them who close to you, and the ones them who close to you who you used to help and give and whatever, you're going to find, say, some of them will turn around and want to harm you. And it's like, if them can't have what you have, or if them can't up there with you, or if you not give them everything what them want, then you're not supposed to keep it. Be careful of those people. And be careful of that obligation that some of us have, where we feel that once we have achieved and you're credentialed and you're successful in some way, you must stay in that setting. Be careful. Because staying there and not being aware of the energies that surround you, that conspire to destroy you. And sometimes you see it and ignore it because you don't want the guilt for say you get rich and switch. Remember what Jay-Z said. You remember what Jay-Z said, President? When them tell Jay-Z, said, Jay-Z, remember Jay-Z a gangster, people, street man and all them something, Jay-Z used to do so in the street, And when they moved to Jay-Z and them said, Jay-Z, you get rich and switch. What Jay-Z said? So what? You think me did I work this hard for stay the same? Remember that. We will a break. We're soon forward.
Leave our children alone. I'm telling you to leave our children alone. Hey, this is Randall Positive and you're in tune to Bridge 99 FM. Bridging the gap, non-stop.
This is Zion Stewart, and you're listening to my dad, the awesome Ragashanti, on Bridge 99 FM.
Ragashanti live. Ragashanti live. Ragashanti live. Ragashanti live. Ragashanti live.
All right, we have about 20 minutes to go in, I think. Just want to remind you that I'm only here on Wednesday nights now, one thing, all right? And I'm not found to know my local project where I work on, so me in the last stretch of it right one thing, so I'm done me. And then after me, I want to know the big licensing exam thing 2 months after that, so you got to do what you got to do. So I want to state categorically, unequivocally, for the record, that I don't have any Usain money. Me not have none of Usain money, and from when I know about my brethren, President have none of Usain money either. Right? We not have none of Usain, Ragashanti have none of your money, me G. President have none of your money, right? I don't know if At Spice you get a small food out of it or something, but a different thing that if At Spice, if you get a small food out of it, make sure say you peel your boy President something, you understand? Don't ever bother to, Yeah. People do remember us bringing that call. Do remember us next week, Friday, I'm in London hosting Latoya's party, Latte party, East London and thing. So London crew and thing, gonna look out for that. Next week, Friday, I'll be in London hosting Latte party. Bring in the caller, Prezi. Okay. Hello. Oh, I don't know. People me really don't know what's going on with the left side of my face right here, so you know. It's like it's lifeless. I've never experienced, the only time I experience something like this is when I get that Novocaine something there if I go dentist and thing. I the same feeling. And again, you know, I tell you, I wonder if I some stroke thing right now, because again, some strokes are mild. And thing or whatever, I may have a little bad habit, you know, and I like doctor and medicine and them something, you know, so I tend to ignore things. And I've been changing that, as I've been sharing with you over the last year, that I've been getting all these checkups to make sure that I don't fall, as much as possible, I don't fall within that category where you're going to find out this and that when it's too late and whatever. Why I say that I reach enough people. Over the years, bunch of people drop out and thing, and yo, there is somebody we know, she's a judge, federal judge, and well, a few days ago, them say she dep on her last lap, you know. And, you know, hopefully the things can change. But should have, I'm going to tell you, this woman is healthy, you know, watch her health, take care, like proactive and whatever. But she want something in uterine cancer. And it did that there and she never know. It's like this cancer thing, it can do everywhere, anywhere, you know. Man, I wonder if they might have something in toenail cancer to rot it. Well, and then with Bob thing now, something they do with him foot. No, something like that they do with Bob foot. Remember, though? Yeah. John, well, when your time come, you know, just that as much as possible. You know, you do what you have to do, particularly if you know, say you're not live for yourself. And thing, we all got to go. There's one departure lounge we cannot avoid. We all got to go. But, you know, I could give thanks to this thing called life. And, take care of ourselves as much as we can, and enjoy it as much as we can, and consider it, you know, your obligation to be there for those who appreciate you, you know, who enjoy your company and who depend on you in different ways. You know, consider it your responsibility to be there as much as you can for them also, you know. All right. Well, we've been having a lot of rain up here in the people. I just want to remind folks listening in Jamaica, because every week you may have one or two people new, that I broadcast from the IrieJam studios here in Queens, New York. And, you know, you hear me on the Bridge 99 FM, of course. But, you know, I'm not in studio in Jamaica. I'm right here in New York. And we've been having non-stop rain. It started about 1, 2 o'clock, and it's supposed to go till about 3, 4 o'clock. Now, something like that, Prezi, all night. And thing, I know, say the time cool up here now. So if you don't have a live blanket in New York, dog near your supper, right? Dog near your supper, right? Over California, them did go through it with rain. What there? California, they dry, you know. When I tell you California dry, year after year after year after year after year, California dry. And them I get beer water over there, beer water and thing, water wash them over there, and people are dead left, right, and center. And all them something they saw. But you have to give thanks to him, so we don't want nobody dead, but big up all of the wetness over California, right? Big up all of the wetness over California. But on a different level, do I want to go to California with the mass shooting them. California does a run out like we need to lead this thing, yeah. Right? All that the Asian man, you know, we end up go kill 11 people, them and thing. And it go one next place to kill up more, you know. I want to look a man rush him in a prison and take away the gun from him, you know. And I want to say, I look man that ease up on him and thing and just kind of ease him up. How that give some ratty lick in the head, they say. When I done with him and bust up him head, boy, you just a run in and a kill off innocent people. So because him under frustration, you know, one of the things, you know, he can't get no woman in a prison, that, you know. He can't get no woman probably if you back him fist every night or something or whatever. And just decide, say, yo, me I back my fist every night, me need to use that and you back a trigger. And the man just go, they go kill half the people, them and whatever, then the dirty man. And they go someplace else, they go spray up some more people. And look at you, see the dog are rolling with the gun and goes, room! And move to him and take away the gun from him and just can't ease him off. When I done butt him up in my head with that and whatever and thing. The man about 72-year-old. People, today I must say, today what, the 25th, no? Today the 25th. The United States, 25 days gone in the year. The United States must have 30 or 40 mass shooting already for the year. You see the statistic, President? The United States have more mass shooting now since the year start than this. Oh, well, let me see it. How many mass shootings in 2023? All right. Okay, I could see what CNN says. What the hell? Come on, man. Oh, man. CNN, Wednesday, January 25th. There have been more shootings than days so far this year. And more shootings, and more shootings than at this point in any year since at least 2013. CNN is tracking mass shootings in the U.S. using data from the Gun Violence Archive, a non-profit group formed in 2013 to track gun-related. So what it, when them people start them something and then beat you for your with it. Where is this thing? Where is it? I want the figures. Come on, man. We're stupid thing. Why them do that, man? All right, New York Times. January brings at least 39 mass shootings so far. So at least, that is the title of a story in the New York. Oh. Okay. So there's a New York Times. In the first few weeks of 2023, at least 69 people have been killed in mass shootings across the country, including 2 shootings within days of each other in California. I thought that was 3. See it there? Okay. 39. Right? So, people here in the United States, be careful when you hear look at something that going on in the point. Lord, Jamaica terrible. Jamaica gone to the dogs. And this and that and whatever. I know proportionately, the United States is way bigger than Jamaica. So per capita, it's, you know, the argument can be made that, you know, the shootings in Jamaica is, and killings in Jamaica is more devastating given the smaller number, 3 million people, compared to 333 million people in the United States. But nonetheless, we should be careful when you're up here, you know, ensconced in your, you know, your safe little spaces and, you know, fairly safe, relatively safe, and criticizing Jamaica. That Jamaica is this violent place that, you know, I go back there. America violent too. America has always been violent. Terrible, terrible, you know, violence and whatever. But of course, America market itself differently, no? And things. So the violence there everywhere, man. People what could be going on right here with my face, man? Make this thing up. Oh, sir. May I get like my gum swell. I have that little something with my wax. President, you know what Jamaican call wax and cannon? No, you're not going to know them something there. That gone deep into the archive. Probably Delmarine know them something there, you know, because Delmarine born and grow a country. One place near Constitution Hill. I must say up there, so Delmarine says she come from. It there Kingston, you know, but up in a bush. You ever see Delmarine post, President? President, did you know that Jamaica have wild boars, you know, like wild pig with tusk and them look on there? Did you know that? You didn't know that? Stop telling lie. You didn't know that? Yeah, man, them up in that bush, man. Them didn't even, they were Portmore one time, you know, they must have dead out from over there. You know, they like, but yeah, man, up in the mountains and things. President, you didn't know it's a deer there at Jamaica? Yeah, up in the mountains, them have deer up there, man. Right? And rich Jamaicans, them go shooting up there all the time. Well, I don't know if it's just rich, you know. Bruce Golden go up there. Bruce Golden rich? You don't know. Bruce Golden and his son, my brother Stephen Golden, them go up there go shoot. I have a friend named Mikey, them go up there go shoot. Mikey, I'll bring back some of them. So you see them pig, they know some dangerous pig, you know, when them running over dog, you know, so that Delmarine never used to catch them. Delmarine used to fight them pig there and all them something there, you know. So when you see Delmarine looks or whatever this and that, she was a pig catcher, she was a boar catcher, right? I think she used to ride them too. Delmarine, you used to ride the pig them? Jack, ask Delmarine if she used to ride them mad pig there, you know. Yeah. Jack, ask Delmarine if she used to ride them mad pig there, because from what I heard that they were quite common up in that constitutional hillside, you know, where, you know, Garden Town, come round, Irish Town. And Prezi, your girl, you know, you can't tell, say, you know, she was one of the pig hunter them, you know, you don't have to ask, you know. Yeah, man. At and spice, I can't see her on the pig them and I run them down and all these things and whatever, you know. I can't see that and thing and whatever. Well, Delmarine, man. Delmarine, if you see Delmarine solid, you know. That's not by accident. I know Jim should get that from him, something. Whatever, you know. So years of conditioning a wrestle pig them and all them something there, you know. Whatever, yeah. You can imagine that. Yeah, that, you know, you can imagine the conditioning there. If you just did a wrestle pig, oink, 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 roar, boom, bam, 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 bam. But she come far, make use of foreign, right? Come over here and work hard, do look better for yourself and thing. And that's what I tell you. You know, you take advantage of your opportunities them. And yo, you know what say me screenshot one thing, I want to read it for you. See it, yeah. Gabe Sonnier, when I can Google this, Sonnier. Gabe Sonnier was a janitor for a Louisiana elementary school. In 1985, the principal pulled him aside and said, "I'd rather see you grading papers than picking them up." End quote. So, at the age of 39, Gabe started studying. He got his teaching degree and, shortly after, his first teaching job. In 2013, he became principal of the same school he had cleaned for 27 years. What an incredible story. And all it took the principal at that time, show him some love and give him little encouragement, don't it? Right, people? And the man used to be a janitor in the school. I cleaned the school. And the principal just take a time to show him some love. Because the principal obviously see something in him, you know. The principal obviously see something in him, man. So, you know what I say? Me see you a grade papers rather than a pick up papers. And the man end up, they go, and I'm sure it wasn't easy. And come back and end up being the principal of the school that he was a janitor. So we have to celebrate this thing. And again, you can Google him and Google his story. His name is Gabe Sonnier, G-A-B-E, that's his first name, and his last name is S-O-N-N-I-E-R, right? So you can Google him and check him out and things. So we just want to big him up and think for him, you know, build him thing and juggle and roll out. Along the same, that's what I say, the same thing. We have to big up Tambourine, right? Right, Prezi? Because just like how him now pick up papers and anymore and him a grade papers now. Tambourine now fight the pig them, she not fight the ag them anymore, right? She have a different recreation now. I don't know what she do for her recreation, but I'm sure she's no longer riding pigs for. Well, she live over in California and they have a look at wilderness thing over there. You never hear the man who a jog on the mountain lion and jump on him over California. You never hear about the president. Can you imagine you drag a mountain lion and jump for you? They can't keep that, right? But you know, we want to celebrate Tambourine. She's you know, grown tremendously. No longer a pig rider, right? No longer a pig rider. I don't know if she still eat pork. Because sometimes people go through these things and them reach a different level. Them can't really deal with that something there anymore. You know, them have some like me. When we go supermarket in a present, me have to buy the softest toilet paper. You know, don't play with me, you know. Me no compromise for toilet paper, you know. People, me no compromise for toilet paper. Why? Me go through it. Growing up enough star and glean, I have to wait before I go toilet. I know, TMI, but that's my point though. Right? So you say bed important to me. A kaya mattress I grew up on. And spring mattress and thing, you know, when time all the mattress bust and the spring shove up and thing, all when you know your deep sleep. The way you understand the thing, all when you roll your body, just roll around the spring cards, and then you roll around the part, you push up through the mattress, you juke out your clot. You understand? So me, bed, mattress, and toilet paper, I'm going to play with them something there. Right now, the softest toilet paper I have to work with. Any of the toilet paper look rough. Because I go through it. So I can understand if Tambourine are doing the bacon thing and whatever and all them something, you know, given her travails, you know, with the pig and thing and given that she used to ride pig for fun and thing and, you know, she's grown up. We all grow up and thing and we evolve and, you know, we do things differently. All right, people, do remember this Friday over YouTube, free up, 1 o'clock. In the afternoon, with yours truly, Ragashanti, right? So this Friday over YouTube, 1 o'clock, free up and thing. Tomorrow morning, I'll be over twitch.tv at 10 a.m. playing some music. In fact, there's a thing we have to do over there. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. This Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, every morning I'll be over on Twitch at 10 a.m. for 2 hours. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Twitch.tv. Ragashanti. 10 o'clock in the morning. So make sure it's on the forward. Twitch.tv. No. Tomorrow, Friday out. Friday afternoon after free up. But Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. 10 o'clock in the morning. Friday, me would do it right after me do free up. We go over twitch.tv. It's twitch.tv. TWITCH.tv. It's the only place I can play music right now because YouTube not allow you to do it. Instagram not allow you to do it. Facebook not allow you to do it. But we can do it over Twitch. And play a lot of music over there and all these things. So make sure it's on the forward. All right, so we'll see you tomorrow, Thursday, 10 o'clock in the morning. Twitch.tv. Follow me over there, Ragashanti. TWITCH.tv. And of course, on Friday afternoon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Ragashanti TV over YouTube. Over YouTube, and you go to Ragashanti TV. Free up, the realest Jamaican talk show with me, Miss Cherry Washbelly, Ragashanti. Tambourine. Last before I go up, Tambourine, I hope you weren't not triggered with the pig memories. My apologies. The whole idea was to just show where you're coming from and all them something or whatever. And I hope you don't feel any way about still eating, pig trotters or whatever it is. And take care of yourself, people. Soon next week too. Back here, so Jamaica, right here, so 10 o'clock on the Bridge 99 FM. But make sure someone catch me over twitch.tv tomorrow at 10 o'clock. And of course, Ragashanti TV over YouTube, 1 o'clock on Friday. I'm out.